Now, a strike at South Africa's ports and rail company Transnet is another hit for the South African economy that is already limping along. Workers affiliated to the United National Transport Union, UNTU, began their industrial action from last night. Transport Union SATAWU has announced plans to join the strike next week, Monday. Economists have warned it could be hugely damaging to supply chains and the economy as a whole. Industries like mining rely heavily on exports, while South Africa imports some foodstuffs, and a bottleneck at the ports could even mean that batches expire. The fear is that port services could be paralyzed and rail halted. To discuss, we were hoping to be joined by UNTU, but we do have SATAWU with us, Transport Union SATAWU's Secretary General, Jack Mazibuko. Mr. Mazibuko, thank you for being with us. Do you know what impact UNTU's strike action that began today has had?
No, thank you very much, and thank you for having SATAWU on your show. It is true that SATAWU will join the strike on Monday. And the reason why we are joining a strike on Monday, we wanted to follow all the legal processes that is contained in a collective agreement that we have under the auspices of the Transnet Bargaining Council. I might not be sure about the effect of the UNTU strike as to what effect has it made. But what we can assure you is that the SATAWU members are going to join the strike on Monday the 10th.
So are you sure that will be legal? You say you wanted to follow all processes because I understand Transnet has been saying that there's no proof that the unions have been balloting their members, for example. That requirement has not been met.
Yeah, the SATAWU strike will be legally because we have followed all the legal procedures. Firstly, we inform Transnet about our intention to strike immediately after we received the certificate Transnet revised offer, of which they came back to us on Tuesday, and then we have rejected the offer that they were giving to us. And then we have conducted all the balloting in the entire Transnet entities nationally. So we have followed all the legal processes. So our strike will be legal.
So you're convinced of that nobody will lose their job for joining in on Monday?
Definitely sure. No member of SATAWU will lose the job. Hence, we did not rush to start the strike because we wanted to make sure that we follow all the legal processes.
Are you still demanding 12% as we speak, which would mean that you and Transnet are incredibly far apart, 9% apart?
In the meeting that we have with Transnet on Tuesday night, wherein they were bringing a revised offer, which they tabled to us that they are offering us a 3% plus 1. They said the 3% it's across the board, and the 1% it will be in a form of an ex gratia of 7,600. We have taken that offer to our members, and our members have rejected that offer. So where we are now, what we are demanding, we are saying to Transnet, at least give us double digits. That will make our members happy.
All right, so you want 10 or above.
10 or above, yes.
That's still significantly above inflation. And my question to you, is it fair to ask Transnet for an increase above inflation, given the woes that this agency has had? I'm talking about the strikes that affecting the Durban port. We know that rail, the system has been gutted already, vandalism, hacking attacks, and we need a functional Transnet.
It is true, and then if I may put on record, one of the reasons why we are supposed to, let me start here, we are supposed to start negotiations with Transnet on April, but we started our negotiation a little bit later because we wanted to give a Transnet enough time to at least make plans to give workers what we think it is reasonable. And then even after we have deadlocked, we give a Transnet an opportunity to go and devise means and ways to give something that will be acceptable by our members. And unfortunately, they have left us with no option. You will recall that when we were at the bargaining council, Transnet was offering members just 1.5 only 3% plus 1%, which is 4%. So it's so unfortunate that they left our members with no option but to embark on this strike.
But my question was about asking for an increase significantly above inflation. I mean, let me just elaborate a little bit. To pay your salaries, Transnet needs to assure importers and exporters that can deal with goods and that there are efficient logistics in South Africa. We know already when there's been problems, shipping companies have been finding other ports, even going to our neighboring countries. And we know that many companies have already abandoned rail. Aren't you afraid this could undermine the trust in Transnet, which is already fragile?
No, we don't believe that, because remember, just a month ago, Transnet has made a profit of $5 billion during the time of when they were declaring their profits at the end of their last financial year end. That $5 billion is the money that has been worked by the workers, and workers were working even during the hardship of lockdown. So we think our request to have double digits is reasonable, is based on the fact that indeed workers have worked and they've made a company to have $5 billion that they are claiming as a profit.
Final question. How many of your members will down tools on Monday, and what will it mean? Will we see rail services being halted, for example? Could the ports really slow down? What sort of impact are we looking at?
More than 18,000 of our members will be down in tools across Transnet.
All right, Mr. Mazibuko, I was just asking you about the impact. I'm sorry if you heard some of the background discussion in our studio. Thank you for your time. Let's end it there, and we'll continue to follow the strike. Transport Union SATAWU's General Secretary Jack Mazibuko.